All right. Today, I wanted to talk about word choice. Is there a difference between the phrase I understand and I empathize? Maybe it's a regional thing and maybe it's an experience thing, but there are plenty of men in today's society that feel dismissed by the women who should be listening to them. And I'll take this opportunity to say that I do identify as a men's rights advocate. I do think that men are not heard in today's society, and I do think that there are some very toxic feminists out there who completely dismiss men with any opinion that they have. So what I want to do is I want to start off by outlining the definitions of each of these words. Understand means interpret or view something in a particular way. Empathize means understand and share the feelings of another. And sympathize means to feel or express sympathy. So, naturally, I was a bit confused when someone told me, when you say I understand, I feel dismissed because sometimes you can't understand. What I'm noticing now is the definition of understand, which is interpret or view something in a particular way, doesn't stipulate whose way. So I suppose that understand could be to interpret or view something in your own way and not the way the person is trying to explain it to you, which makes sense now. However, I was born and raised in California, only spending a couple months living elsewhere, like Colorado and New Mexico, I think 3 months each. The canned response when we want to express empathy, at least in my hometown, is I understand. Because that comes from a place of caring and we want you to feel heard. But what if I don't understand? Is there a simpler way of putting it? Is there something I can say to make the person feel heard? According to the subreddit Ask Men and Men's Rights, there is. One user said, I usually prefer, you're totally right. Honestly, I would find both to be dismissive if they were followed by the word but. I'd rather listen to a direct argument without being sugarcoated. So that adds a bit of a wrench in the cogs, doesn't it? Now, there's a whole new level of communication we've added by using the word but. And, to be fair, what if I don't think you're right? Another user said, I'm not clear how one can share the feelings of another without agreeing with them. So let me clear that up a little. I do believe an individual could feel both emotions simultaneously without agreeing. For instance, if a person was set on a white privilege tirade, and they shared stories of why they believed in it, I could choose to radically accept the situation and be both sympathetic and put myself in their shoes, while still not agreeing that white privilege is a thing. Another user said, to me, I understand is kind of vague. It could be interpreted a lot of ways, including in a dismissive way. Words I use and their meanings. I empathize equals I feel what you mean. I imagine how they must have felt. I sympathize equals I understand your situation and take into account the circumstances you're in. Sometimes I empathize with someone but don't sympathize. For example, someone has too many feels and can't deal, but they're being unreasonable, irrational. I feel you, but I think you should grow up and shouldn't have thrown that tantrum. Sometimes I sympathize without empathizing. When I can see your situation and acknowledge the position you're in, but on an emotional level, I don't give a shit about your problems. That is a fantastic illustration of the difference between those two words. Now, among those on Reddit I queried, I also asked around my office. I do work with a diverse set of folks, so I did think that the views of straight and non-straight males and white and non-white males were very important in this scenario. Most of the straight males didn't mind I understand as a response. But the non-straight males I asked were quite adamant on not using it at all. They didn't even approve of the word empathize. What they wanted was, that helps me understand better. So in conclusion, women, choose your words carefully. Treat men the way they want to be treated. After all, they're only trying to help you understand them. Okay, bye!